Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back to BnB Anime. I am Oof. That is Brab. We are here. Today to discuss Sword Art Online Progressive, Aria, Starless, and Height. Oh. So, last week, Brab discovered that I'm going to... So when we log into our recording software, we have option to put in the name we want to be called. And we switch it up every week. Yeah, those are the names we chose this week.
Yeah, so Brab is just what everybody in the streaming Discord has decided to start calling me.
Okay.
And so I just, at this point, I'm okay with being referred to as that. So it's just Brab everywhere. I've even started signing emails like that. Don't ask questions.
Well, you did go by Bod for a while as well.
I mean, that is true. You make one typo, and then from there That's just Bard or Bread or... I don't know. Like I said, some of my best friends call me Bradford, even though that is not my government name. But you know what? We're here, and that's what I'm going to go with. So it's fine. Whatever. If you just shout something, I promise I'll answer.
I'm fairly certain I have called you Braddle Doodle Dandy a couple of times.
Yeah, that's also acceptable. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what's not acceptable, though?
Bradley?
Yes, but I was going to say laryngitis, which is why I sound like shit. But yes, Bradley is also unacceptable.
You actually don't sound like shit. You sound like you could host a radio show, but like jazz. Like 9 p.m. jazz, you know?
You know what? I'm down for that too. You want to start a radio station?
We could, yeah. We just have to go, you just have to say, welcome to our evening jazz night.
Welcome to our evening jazz night.
See?
Introducing jazz hands that you can't see because I have a face and body for radio.
Careful.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. I have coffee that I'm now going to sip loudly, ASMRly. Just.
That's some
I don't
good
know
sippage.
how well that came across.
It came across for sure. Yeah, I picked
nice.
it up.
I have the gain turned down as much as possible, but I'm also right up against the microphone because I'm trying to save my voice as much as possible for this.
Fair, yeah. My old choir teacher, because I took choir for, little known fact about me, I took choir for 12 years.
Ooh.
She used to say that she was like opera trained.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a throat infection or some kind of like really bad throat situation happening the night before a big exam that she was supposed to take. And she went on complete vocal rest, but she said she couldn't stop coughing. So what she said to do instead of coughing is to like do your scales, like hum, like down like that. Because apparently, according to her, and I don't know how legit this is, okay, I mean, she was a teacher, so I feel like it's fairly legit, but like also, you know what I mean? When you cough, your vocal cords like rub against each other, like they vibrate into each other. Whereas even when you speak, they do that, but to a lesser degree. Mm-hmm. But when you sing, they vibrate like near each other, but they don't actually physically touch. I don't know if I'm getting that 100% right as well. But apparently singing is much easier on the throat than either talking or coughing. And when you cough, if you run your scales like that, it can like shake the phlegm from your throat or whatever's tickling your throat out of the way and like get rid of the itch, but it won't cause severe harm to your throat. I say that, but the body's reaction, like, because I tried it during COVID, the body's reaction to wanting to just cough up a lung is incredibly hard to resist. And I don't know how you stop yourself from coughing.
I think it would just have to, like, you would have to purposefully do it so much to the point where it just seems second nature, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, the human body is very strange. And for some reason, you have to do the most violent of movements to be able to get phlegm out of your throat or get your throat to stop tickling itself. Yeah, I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah. It's the fear of when you're coughing up so much phlegm that you can't breathe back in again. And like, you know, you're going to be fine, but that's it. Is life or death. You're going to choke to die and die. That's it. You're going to die.
You know what? It's fine.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. But anyway, because of Brad's sore throat, you're going to hear more of my voice than you do normally, even though I don't normally shut up anyways.
We all know you're the star of this show. It's fine. Everyone knows it. It's perfectly
you're the
acceptable.
Brains. You do all of the shit behind the scenes.
Debatable.
Not debatable. Factual.
Debatable.
I just tucked my trousers into my socks, and it's a good look. I'm going to go with it.
Nice. Stick with that.
Yeah. I also switched my socks. My PC was playing up before this recording. And during the time when I was restarting it, until it started up, I switched my socks from regular socks to fluffy socks.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. And it's, I'm getting comfy when I take off the socks. And I can tell you why. Because I have wellies. They're like my go-to shoes to stick on when I need to like take the garbage out, grab the mail, run to the local corner shop, when you don't have to do things, but you got to do a little thing. My wellies are my go-to.
Quick running. Yeah.
Yeah. My fluffy socks don't fit inside of my wellies. So,
ooh.
Yeah. So when I put on the fluffy socks, that's it. There's no more going outside for the day.
I mean, hey, makes sense. It's 5:30. Who needs to go anywhere else the rest of the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere the rest of the day. I am going to sit right here.
Yeah. Me too. Well, not right here. I'm going to slowly wander over to the couch later and spread out there. But for the most part, I'll be in the vicinity.
Close enough. It's fine.
I'm moving about 1.5 meters. Or like 7 foot. No.
I mean, it's fine.
No, it would be less than, less than that. Like 5'6". I'm going with 5'6" for 1.5 meters. I don't know conversions.
Isn't a meter like 2.65 feet?
It's
just shy of a yard.
I'm 176 centimeters and or 5'9".
I don't do math.
So 176 is nearly like it's just over 1.75 meters.
Uh-huh.
And that's 5'9", which is near enough 6 foot. So if we round it up 2 meters, like I feel like 180 something, maybe 186 is 6 foot.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. You guys judge. It's a little bit away. It's half of a room length away.
If you lay down from where you were currently standing, would you reach the couch?
Yes.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah.
But you're also like 4'2", so that is very close.
Yeah, disregard everything that I just said. I'm 4'2".
The joke remains.
The joke remains. Yes. Okay. So this is the thing that only Brad's gonna get, but I have to update. The situation we were talking about before last recording happened again 2 times
did
on
you
the
applause?
same day. I didn't. I still restrained myself, but it's getting harder and harder to do so because it was 5 p.m. and then again at 8 p.m.
Oh.
And I think that one of them, specifically the loudest of them,
yeah,
is not truthful.
Oh, overcompensating.
Yeah, that's because it's so synced. And only then. Never individually. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
Yeah, it feels like a nobody if you get it, you may get it, honestly, you know, from
there's enough context here. I think people can figure out. With this being said, skip ahead, children.
I have neighbors, shall we say? I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because the way it sounds is like like a film, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And only when, shortly after, like, I'd say, like, the last few moments, and then shortly after, it becomes a duet. And I'm like, that doesn't seem legit.
Maybe they're doing accounting work.
Honestly, maybe they're, yeah,
because you're right, that does seem a little fishy.
Yeah, and I'm like, because, like, if they're like that individually, like, or maybe they just don't do anything else, like, they only do that. And because, like, there's no other, like, it doesn't seem like they're ever doing, because if they're that loud as they are during that, then why is it, like, do they not, is it only that? I'm so confused, you know? It's gotta be exaggerated. That's how I'm feeling.
You know what you should do?
What?
Go leave a copy of Food Wars in front of their door. See if cooking can have the same effect.
Honestly, because yeah, I'm like, one of them is in it, the other one is compensating. Is in my opinion.
One of these days they will. I don't know. I had a bit planned. It didn't work. Fuck off outside. I can't even shout like I normally do. I don't get to be important today.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. But so far, that's the dealio. I think they won't last long. I mean, they might not last long anyways from what I've been hearing, but, like, that's a whole different situation.
Oh, I love double entendres. That's the word I'm looking for, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Hey, look at that. I can be smart when I want to be.
You are smart. Anyways, other than that, I tried a apple cider salted caramel drink today at work, and it was delicious.
Oh, I'm currently having a sugar cookie latte with honey added on top of Starbucks.
Get out. Blasphemy.
I mean, it was literally on the way home from lunch, and I needed a hot tea and coffee.
Yeah.
Although my tea and coffee is no longer hot anymore. It's like slightly above room temperature.
Fair.
But you know what? It's getting me through this, so I'm not going to complain too much. But the sugar cookie latte is quite delicious. Starbucks, you should sponsor us. Just saying.
My boss might have something to say about that.
I don't think that's a.
I mean,
boss, you could also sponsor us. Yeah, I'm just saying we are open to all sponsors.
Yeah, Canadian coffee sponsor, we'll take it. The reason why baristas hate Starbucks though is because they fucked up drinks for everyone.
I mean that I can 100% see that, and also they burn their beans.
They do burn their beans. But yeah, so my big qualm with them is the macchiato.
Mm-hmm.
Because everywhere else serves a traditional Italian macchiato, which is a shot of espresso with foam, meaning very small drink.
Yes.
Like not even a full small cup small. Like it's a shot of espresso with just milk foam on top of it, or maybe 2 shots if you want a double. A Starbucks macchiato is a very large drink. The amount of people that come into my cafe ask for a macchiato, and I have given up trying to explain to them what it is. So I just make it and serve it, and then they look at me and go, "What is this?" And I it's a macchiato. That's what it is.
This is exactly what you ordered. We are not Starbucks. Get out.
Yeah. Do you really think that your large specialty drink at a very like our coffee chain, it's a chain, but it's a very high end chain. We don't have a machine that has preset buttons on it. Like we make everything ourselves. We have our own brand of beans. We grind all of our beans on site. We use all natural organic ingredients. All of our beans are organic. It's very high quality stuff that we use in our cafe. So the prices are pretty expensive. That I will say, they're not any more expensive than Starbucks. They're just worth it. And And people will order the like a double or a single macchiato. And the thing is, as well, is they'll be like, they'll have like a group of friends, and they'll be like, oh, I want this latte, and I'm like, okay, what size? And then they'll be like, a large, and I'm like, great. And then they'll say, I want a macchiato, and I'll say, do you want a single or a double? And they'll say, oh, I want a double. And then they're surprised when it's a small drink, when I didn't ask if they wanted a small, medium, or large. Like, that blows my mind. Use your ears. But also, if like the price is like $3 compared to a $7 latte, and you're like, Canadian, by the way, and you're like, oh my god, why is this not a giant drink? I wonder why.
People.
Frustrated. I get frustrated.
Most
of my customers are great.
I understand that, though.
Yeah. Today I had to deal with Sunday customers, and they're a whole different ballgame. So.
Yeah, I can 100% see that. And having been in the retail industry and the restaurant industry, church-going customers are not pleasant to deal with.
No.
And as a church boy myself, I run the live stream and sound and everything at my church. Sunday church people are very hard to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you are those people, be nice to, the people that are serving you. It's a job.
Yeah. Yeah. I get frustrated with it. I love my regulars. They're great. I freaking adore being a morning bartender. That's what all my regulars call me, because I'm their morning therapist, and it's my favorite thing. Like, I love it so much. Yeah. It feels like in the mornings on a weekday at like 7 a.m., it's just my locals. They come in every single day. They see me every single day. They're like, they tell me about their lives. I know when they're going to their daughter's wedding, or when, they have a job promotion, or when they're dressed up special, or, like I know them, and they're great, and we talk, and it's a fun time. I do not like the weekend people, especially the weekend afternoon people who are just in the area for shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially the like noon Sunday people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite time that's when it feels like I'm working at Starbucks.
I can 100% see that.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. It stops being about the coffee and starts being about the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's me griping about my job. How are you?
Other than it hurting to talk, I'm pretty great. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Went to a bachelor party yesterday, so we went to Top Golf and played golf. And then we went to get dinner at the only way I know how to describe it is lumberjack Hooters, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a chain called Twin Peaks, and it's literally just the Hooters, but with lumberjacks. But the food is typically a whole lot better. Last night,
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay.
Yeah, like the story about Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
But yeah, dinner was not good.
No, dinner was not good. Food was terrible. Service was terrible. And I've waited tables, so I understand the struggle. Yeah.
That service was awful. It was very bad. It was not that busy.
Yeah.
Service was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because our waitress just went and stood at another table and talked for like an hour.
Mm.
But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how my Saturday went.
Well, I'm glad that the company was good, even if the food was bad.
Exactly. Company was great. We went D&D figure shopping afterwards because we've got
your campaign.
I've got my second campaign thing Friday that I'm looking forward to. Although I'm also stressed about.
Such excite.
Also, fun fact, on Thursday, I'm going to meet J-Storm in person. Yes. So that'll be fun.
That will be fun, and I'm excited for you, and you have to I want selfies.
There will be photos.
Good.
I will be taking photos, but then also his sister is bringing her DSLR camera to take high quality photos.
You're going to do a shoot?
We should do a shoot.
You should do a shoot.
Make it the most overly dramatic thing
Take
we
a flower
possibly
crown
could.
for each of you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Flower crowns, and you need maybe some glitter you could like throw up into the air, or like fun colored lenses or something. So like you could stick them over the lens of the camera, make it all like fun. Bubbles. What else could you do?
I have penis confetti.
That's fantastic. Take that.
I have that from the last bachelor party that I was a part of. For
Makes
some reason,
sense.
they gave the person who's the most likely to use it for evil all the leftover penis confetti.
Perfect. Great.
So literally my entire back seat has bags of penis confetti all over it, and I've still yet to figure out how I want to use it.
A photo shoot sounds like the perfect time.
Exactly. Especially if you can like get like the perfect shot with it to where like everything just kind of falls into place. That would be great.
It would be fantastic.
It would be fantastic.
Sorry, I just thought, what if you took all the penis confetti and threw it into a ball pit?
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Thanks.
We are planning on going to Dave & Buster's, so there very well may be a ball pit. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Dave & Buster's is for adults, so maybe not.
Maybe not. There should be.
I mean,
but
you would
not
think,
one
but the
like at TwitchCon.
I was about to say a ball pit and a foam pit are two very different things.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still waiting for the lawsuits to come out of that.
I'm looking forward to the legislation because I like to follow pop culture legislation. I feel so bad for everyone involved in that situation.
Oh, 100%.
Except the companies, they can fuck themselves. But like the victims.
Yeah. And especially the fact that it was TwitchCon. So therefore, it's Amazon. They can afford a fucking actual foam pit.
Yeah.
That's not going to hurt people.
Yeah.
Not a like 2 pieces of foam thick pit to where you are going to break your back.
Yeah. That's
literally break your back, break your legs.
Yeah.
Like those are some very serious injuries to come out of that.
Well, she lost a baby.
Someone lost a baby?
She was pregnant. The girl who broke her back.
Was she?
Yeah. Due to the surgeries and everything from the complications, she lost the baby.
I haven't even heard that.
Yeah, she didn't know at the time, but she found out after the fact.
Oh, that should definitely be a lawsuit waiting to happen. Because baby wasn't signed on the consent form, which also looking at legal ramifications, if something's not up to code, then you can definitely be sued regardless of whether or not you signed a waiver.
Yeah, and like as well as the fact that she didn't have the knowledge that she was pregnant at the time.
Yep.
But because of everything that had happened, the pregnancy either wasn't I don't know if it wasn't viable and she was like forced termination, or if she ended up losing the baby as a result of stress on the body.
Yeah.
But either way, horrific situation. If you don't know about it, you can Google it, find out a load of information on it. Basically, there was a TwitchCon convention. There was a foam pit where they had like a jousting thing where you like hit each other off of the stools, like the things. There was one streamer, I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
I think it's Adriana Chechik.
Something like that, yeah. She won against her opponent, and in excitement, she jumped off of her stand into what she thought, and everyone thought, was a very deep foam pit. It turned out to not be so. She did like a split kick, where you like split your legs out, and ended up thought that she was going to land in a nice foam pit. She landed directly on her tailbone and ended up having to need multiple surgeries because of the injuries resulting in that. But she wasn't the only person to have been injured that day. There were other reports of other people that had also been injured by doing similar things or falling into a foam pit that everyone thought was deep because it's a foam pit. So it's like there are minimum standard regulations for that. There's a minimum depth that it needs to be, and it wasn't. And as such, there will be legal ramifications for that. And I am very interested. I don't want to say looking forward to seeing them coming out because it's a really bad situation, but I'm very interested in what those are going to look like. And I don't know if it's criminal or just civil, because I feel like there could be like a criminal charge of negligence or something. Like, I feel like somebody, I don't know. So I'm interested to see what charges come out, whether it's just civil suits.
I think I think this kind of falls into like class action suit, just because of the dollar figures that would probably be involved with this, because I think it can only be civil, like up to a certain dollar amount, and then it becomes class action.
Right.
So, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess we'll just kind of have to see what happens with it. But hopefully
they would get some kind of compensation for everything that happened.
Yeah, like compensation is there. Everything's taken care of. And people learn their fucking lesson.
Yeah.
Or companies learn their fucking lesson, rather.
Well, so many companies have recently been in the news for having conventions and tournaments and whatever and just neglecting them in various ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, like the whole, like, the Nintendo situation with Panda.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, there was it's a whole thing. We could get into it. We could just do bonus topics about us talking about general nerd news. We could probably just do a whole bonus recording. I won't put you through it today with your voice, but yeah, there's been like a lot of conversation around that. There's also been a lot of conversation around Magic the Gathering, having a surplus of cards and community just dying out because of it and getting really frustrated. There's a whole bunch of nerd news that's happening right now. It's very interesting. And yeah, so lots of brain teasing stuff. Anyways, Sword Art Online Progressive, Aria of Starless Night.
I'm excited to get into this topic, and I am very upset that this was the episode where my vocal cords decided to go take a shit on themselves.
Yes, I mean, it sucks that you can't speak because you've been talking about SAO for literally years, and yeah, I get to take over it and take it over. But don't worry, because I want to do so much more Sword Art Online Progressive. I will admit, I was very tainted. And, I know you said, but Sword Art Online Progressive, it's different. And I'm like, okay, fair. I agree. It's really good. It took me right back to the first season of Sword Art Online. I am back in it, reinvested. You got me hooked again. This movie was really, really good.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you listen to Brab.
I know.
Brab knows the things about the animes.
I know. But still, it took a lot for me to get over that season 2 SAO hurdle.
But you know what? It's fine. So with this being out of the way and the second film coming out in February,
yeah,
we can use that as an opportunity to go into season 3 of SAO and talk about Alicization and how good it actually was.
I am actually down for that. I'm down. So, okay, let's do background. We'll dive into it. We'll dive into our experience with SAO in general, and then we'll talk about the film.
Yeah, so Aria of the Starless Night was directed by Ayako Kono. It was obviously made by A1 Pictures because it's the same studio that has done SAO from the beginning. And it had a runtime of 97 minutes and is based off of a light novel. They actually have a standard progressive like a standard progressive light novel and manga, but Aria of the Starless Night is actually its own light novel. Because this one was told from Asuna's perspective rather than Kirito's perspective, although this was kind of a welcome change to the typical format.
Yeah, I really liked seeing things from Asuna's perspective.
Yeah, because she's not just an OP nerd.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely gives more depth to her character. She has quite a bit of depth in the first season anyway, but she does... There's an element of naivety to her character that kind of sticks with her throughout because she's sort of taken under his wing quite a bit. And this gives her justification for that, I feel like.
100%. Sorry, was drinking coffee.
No, that's okay. Drink away.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Is that your background?
Yes, that's all I got.
Is that you got? Okay, so... yeah. It is rated a 8.01 out of 10 on my anime list, or a 4.15 out of 10 on Anime Planet, or aka a 8.20 out of 10, with an average score of 8.11 out of 10, I think. I was struggling with the average today. My brain couldn't math, so if that average is wrong, I apologize.
Sounds good enough.
I didn't do the drop rate because screw that, apparently. I just...
You know what? It's a film. It doesn't really matter. We'll get into that by the time the year's over with.
Yeah, it will be updated, and it's rated a PG-13, I believe, licensed by Anime Podcast, and it doesn't have an OP because it is a film, but it does have an ED, which is UK by Lisa.
So good.
Yes.
All hail the queen of anime.
Yeah. You can currently watch this on Crunchyroll, so if you are interested in giving it a watch, that's where you can find it.
Yeah, and do go watch it because it's very good. If you've kicked off of SAO due to some very subpar fairy shenanigans,
yeah,
it is 100% worth coming back for.
Yeah, fully. And I believe that it is subbed in all languages that Crunchyroll tends to offer it to be already, even though it did only come out last week.
Yes, it released then. I went to go watch it in theaters back in January. Yeah. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been subbed in
like Portuguese, Russian, English.
I don't know if it got a Russian. I think it got a Latin American and then like an English section. So I think we got French, English sub, and then Portuguese, Spanish, and one other one, I think. Because the way that it's listed, you have SAO Progressive, and then you've got the Latin American dubs. So you've got Spanish and Portuguese.
Okay, sounds good. Yes. So lots of different viewing sub options. Well, I mean, not lots, but like I feel like you'll find
it's more than your standard
it's
amount.
More than your standard, yeah. And if you have never seen any sort of online content before, you can watch this film.
Oh, 100%, because it is starting over from the very beginning.
Yeah. So don't worry about, I mean, the spoilers that you get are that it's the same content, just told from a different perspective. So,
if you've seen the first 11 episodes of SAO, you have seen this. There is no new relevancy to this. Like nothing new is brought to light. You get introduced to a new character at the very end of the film.
Yeah.
Mito doesn't count because Mito is not even in the actual manga itself. So therefore, Mito is like a completely new character for the film itself.
Yeah, and it's just mainly to add depth to Asuna, who is the main character of this film, but the main supporting character of the series.
Yep.
She is the love interest of Kirito. I don't feel like that's spoiling anything necessarily because of it's kind of the whole like likability of Sword Art Online originally.
Yeah, this film series will probably never get into that.
Yeah.
So again, if you've already seen SAO, then this is not new information whatsoever.
Yeah. It's just a depth building film and also a respark. I feel like that's what it definitely did for me. I've mentioned this a few times before, but I have a tainted relationship with Sword Art Online because of the way that the story progressed. I really fell in love with the dynamic of Asuna and Kirito, and they really threw that out of the window later on in the Sword Art Online series, in the later seasons. And it stopped me from watching it, especially considering that Sword Art Online was one of the earliest animes that I really watched. I got into anime as a teenager. I'd obviously watched like Pokemon and stuff as a kid, but when I was properly getting into anime, I got into it as a teenager. And Sword Art Online was one of the first animes I watched that had any kind of romance in it. at all, you know? And so, because in my mind, at this time, you have to remember, like, anime wasn't targeted towards girls in Western countries. There obviously was animes for girls, but they weren't subbed or dubbed at the time for us to view. And so, and I say that in a very, like, I know that's kind of sexist, if, like, boys can like romance films too, girls can like action films too. I get that. But I'm saying it in, like, the target demographic sense. The things that were subbed and dubbed were things like Naruto and Dragon Ball and, you know, like, they weren't things that were targeted towards a female demographic. So then Sword Art Online came onto the scene, and it was something that was targeted towards a male demographic with this element to it that drew in a large amount of a female following. And I was one of them. I was a pretty young teen at the time, preteen even, and got watching it, and, like, I was like, oh my god, fantasy, it's like, it's gaming, it's all of these things that I enjoy that I get kind of teased for because I'm a girl and girls don't do that, but also it's like a little romance and it's cute, and then they threw it out the window and it just kind of, like, left a bad taste in my mouth for it, and I know it did for a lot of my other nerdy female friends too. And so, like, a lot of us would just spend a lot of time just shitting on it, you know? And this is, to me, a palate cleanser film. It's like giving me permission to get back into the series and get back excited for it.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad I watched this film, and I recommend that if you had kind of a similar experience, if you found that you were not enjoying Sword Art Online on the later seasons and you stopped watching it, or you dropped it, or you watched it and you just wasn't really a big fan of it, I recommend giving this film a shot. I do also recommend watching it with headphones, because the way the sound worked in, like, I was wearing an over-the-ear headset, fucking good, my guy. Like,
oh yeah, the surround sound was excellent. Like, it was very well done.
Yeah. I was impressed by that. It got me very entertained. I didn't look at my phone more than, like, 3 times during this film, which for someone with ADHD is very impressive.
Yeah, I can 100% get behind that.
Yeah.
If I watched this under normal circumstances and not, like, in theaters the first time I watched it, then I'd have been in the same boat. But thankfully, in theaters, it's rude to look at your phone, so therefore it's more of the ADHD urge to look at it. Yeah. But then also anxiety of, no, don't do it. Everybody's going to judge you. No, don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, like, my phone buzzed. One time my dad texted me watching it, and if it's your dad, you have to respond, right? Like, especially when your dad lives in a different province. And he was talking to me about the dogs. So, like,
doggos are important.
It's mandatory that I responded.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know, really, really good film. So I'm going to check on those spoiler chicken hats, even though we've both kind of said that there isn't really much to spoil here, considering it is just a retelling of the original story.
Yep.
I forgot how young they are as characters.
Yeah, and this is where my kind of hot take on this comes from, because with the anime community, as far as this film is concerned, a few days after this released, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter or checked Twitter or anything like that, but people were pissed that this got censored compared to, like, the original, like, DVD release / theatric release.
Okay.
Because during the theatric release, I remember there being like, the bath scene with Asuna. Right. I remember feeling, like, a bit uncomfortable in theaters.
Right.
Just because you do got to take into account that they are 15.
Yeah.
And then people were getting pissed over that scene being censored. And that was the only thing in this Crunchyroll release that was censored.
Yeah.
And people were getting pissed with it. And I'm like, there's literally no reason being pissed with it. Like, these are kids.
Yeah.
Now, even the uncensored version didn't really show anything.
No.
But it lingered on shots. There were, like, a lot more, like, full body implications with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And to which, again, my whole thing was, no, bad. Like, watching that in theaters, like, I was uncomfortable with it, knowing all of that. And then seeing people get upset over it, I'm like, that's stupid. Like, these are kids. Stop your shit.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. I think it's been a conversation that has been happening throughout the anime circle for a long time now as to the sexualization of childlike characters. But something that I don't think people are considering is the legal implications behind this and the ramifications that are going to happen when these larger companies get cracked down on. Anime has been able to kind of skirt under the radar for a while when it comes to this kind of thing because of the fact that it's not been a mass media kind of thing. You know, like if it's shown on TV, then people are going to take it more seriously, but it's been an internet thing for a long time. And governments are have only really started paying attention to internet content very recently, and legislation takes a long time to catch up to reality. But the fact of the matter is that it is, I'm fairly certain, illegal in most countries to own or possess sexualized images of minor characters, even if drawn. In like most first world countries, is like, and what they deem as sexualized can differ quite like it's quite a large spectrum, you know. So,
and even the Japanese age of consent is 16.
Yeah.
So again, these are 14 and 15-year-old characters. So even like from a Japanese perspective, it's still bad.
Fully. And so I feel like even if you're looking at from a completely neutral perspective, which I think is kind of hard to do, but if you are, or at least trying to, as I am, the Crunchyroll and other like licensors and distributors need to censor what they deem inappropriate for distribution so they can keep producing anime. And so they don't have to wipe their content in the future when legislation inevitably catches up. What they're doing is protecting themselves as a company more than anything else. Honestly, I don't feel like they give a shit. They're a large corporation. Corporations don't give a shit. We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
But what I feel like they're doing is they're putting in the steps within things like this to stop themselves from being a target later on. I mean, if you've seen the Balenciaga situation right now, you know how quick the public can jump onto a situation like this. I feel like they're trying to protect themselves. So if you want large companies to still keeping producing anime adaptations for non-Japanese speaking audience or non-Japanese audiences, they have to do what they need to do for the legislation in other countries, and as you said, even in Japan. So that's my 2 cents on it anyways.
Yeah.
But yes, I haven't seen the uncensored version, and the censored version that I saw, it definitely got the point across, and I actually really liked that scene because I remember thinking, I want a button that just lets me take off all the clothes that I'm wearing so I don't actually have to get undressed. Do you know how convenient that would be?
Oh, that would be incredibly convenient.
Like a life hack to just like switch clothes. And that's what the scene became. Censored. It just became like oh my god, that's a hack that I want. Like, I wish I had that feature in real life. Which is that's the level of innocence that these characters have, so that should be the level of innocence that the viewer has as on the perspective of watching them.
Yes.
So, rather than your experience of feeling uncomfortable in theater.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, we start off with Asuna in school about to take her high school entrance exams, and we very quickly understand the family dynamic of her mom being really tough on her, her dad being pretty neglectful, and her brother being the only one who seemingly gives a shit about her, which makes what happens very sad, because I feel like her brother is going to be carrying that level of guilt with him for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about that with my cousin and his wife whenever we watched through this for this recording. And I was like, her brother's going to come back from his business trip and feel like absolute shit.
Yeah. I feel so bad for the brother. Like, yeah, so 100%. Bad. Like, I feel bad for the mom because I think the mom genuinely, I don't think she's being like, I mean, I definitely feel like there's a level of neglect there or whatever, but I feel like she's being so hard on Asuna because she wants Asuna to achieve great things. Like, I don't think there's any malicious intent behind it, even though there ends up being negative consequences.
No, mother's a bitch.
Okay, fair.
There's an entire arc of SAO2.
Oh, okay.
And it's called the Mother's Rosario arc, and mom's a bitch.
Okay, fair. Okay, so mom's a really bad person. Dad, though, I feel like he's going to feel sad. But brother, I feel, my heart went out to him. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I kind of wished, I was hoping for, because I like to sit in sadness, I guess, that there would be a clip of her family outside grieving over her. I don't know why I wanted to see that, but I did. But obviously, once you are in SAO, they don't show you the outside world, except in the scene where Asuna was having a dream of the outside world, but it wasn't reality. And that makes sense to me because that's what the characters are going through. Like, they don't get to go outside to the outside world, so you don't get to either as a viewer. But I wouldn't have minded a little bit of depression by seeing them all be sad.
Yeah, although that dream was sketchy as hell.
It was.
Like, I remember watching that in theaters and I was like, wait, hold up. This is weird. And then I was like, no, this has got to be a dream.
Yeah.
And then come to find out it was a dream. And I was like, oh, okay. I was right. I was very confused.
Yeah, I was as well. I was like, wait, what? A logout button? What the fuck?
And it honestly took me until the point in the dream where Asuna's mom was being nice. And I was like, oh, yep, this is a dream.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I got to that point too. Yeah. So we're at high school and, we're in middle school. And Asuna is about to take her high school entrance exams. She's got a lot of pressure on her. She's trying to get to the top of her rankings for her exams. And it's quickly established that she kind of has like a rival in the school, Mito. Well, Mitsumi. But Mito, as we know her. And everyone's like, oh, you guys must be friends because you're both elites. But in reality, they're friends because Asuna ended up stumbling upon Mito gaming, and they kind of became gaming buddies where Asuna was being taught by Mito how to game as like a stress relief because of the amount of stress that Asuna was under for keeping her studies up. And also all of her friendships and relationships, like I feel like Asuna it wasn't just necessarily like an academic level that she had to be good at. She had to be good at literally everything because of the amount of pressure that was put on her shoulders.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so Mito was her break from that, to just sit back and game and to be a student for once as opposed to being the one teaching all of her friends how to like get their shit together, you know?
Yeah.
And then Mito is the one who tells her about SAO, and about the release date, and Mito also kind of hints to the fact that she's been prepping for this for a while. We later learn that Mito was a beta tester for the game. And so Asuna ends up sneaking into her brother's room while he's away on a business trip and jumps into the game. And I guess, I don't think she really particularly... Asuna's such a noob, but I don't even think she really knew it was launch day. I don't think she knew it was like a big deal. I think she was just like, oh, my friend was talking about this game. I guess I'll just like hop on in while I see it on the desk. Like, it was a very casual thing. She didn't know how big of a deal this was. She'd seen a commercial, but like it wasn't a big deal to her. And I think that is a pretty unique experience for the rest of the players that are on SAO. Because like, I think she was probably the noobiest noob on the game. I don't think that there would be, considering like in my mind, SAO is one of those like near $100 games, right? To buy on launch day.
Oh, I would assume so. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Plus you have to already have had the game system, right?
Yeah.
So in my head, a game like this is like, it's like a Final Fantasy drop. Like, it's like a big deal when a game like this drops on a specific console, on a specific system, and to play it on launch day. The kind of people that play those games are gamers. A noob is not going to drop like $1,000 for a random thing they're just trying out. So, Asuna, even if nobody else had played the game before, because this is the launch day, it's the first time they've got their hands on it, they would have played other games. Asuna's very little gaming experience, and the gaming experience she does have seems to be on handheld consoles. So, in my opinion, Asuna is probably the biggest noob in this game.
Yeah.
Which makes her a very interesting character. And then, so yeah, she gets into the game. She ends up finding Mito. She has to learn about things like gamer tags, like that you don't refer to people by their legal names in games, no matter how close you are. Like, I feel like more people refer to people by their gamer tags IRL than the reverse.
Sorry, say that again.
I said I feel like more people refer to people by their gamer tags IRL than the reverse.
Yeah, especially with the world becoming like smaller and smaller, and with conventions and whatnot. Like, you're definitely more apt to, like, even if you and I met, like, it would be, more of our handles rather than like our actual government names.
Yeah, I mean, I go by my I guess you could say I go by my gamer tag, but I pretty much do. Like, I go by Blue at school, I go by Blue at work, I go by Blue to everybody that I've been introduced to in the last 10 years. And okay, it was a nickname at first, but it was my nickname, and then it became my gamer tag, and then everyone referred to my gamer tag. And then now, like, it was a joke nickname at first. Then the joke nickname turned into my gamer tag, and then my gamer tag has become my name.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's fine.
Yeah. And anyway, so then everyone gets turned into their real life looking selves with the mirror thing, and everyone realizes that they're locked into the game. And then Asuna and Mito then go off as a party. And Mito's kind of showing her hacks around the game. Like, not hacks, but like, little tricks of the trade that she had picked up in the beta testing. And Asuna is learning how to cope, really, with everything. And they make a promise of, like, we're going to get through this together. We're going to get to the last level together. We're going to defeat the boss together, and we're going to get out, and it's going to be great. We're going to be besties the whole way through. That very quickly dissolves.
Very, very quickly. Like, the second shit got tough, Mito's just like, see you, bye.
And I think that gives us another level of reality to this, because we are talking about like 14, 15-year-olds here. And even if we weren't talking about 14, 15-year-olds, survival instinct is a whole lot stronger than you think it is.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, if it's like you versus me that's going to survive, the brain is automatically going to put itself first, regardless of who's around you.
Yeah. Like, mothers do it over babies. Like, it doesn't matter. You put yourself first.
Yep.
And yeah, so Asuna ends up nearly dying, and she kind of accepts her fate. Which is when we are introduced to Kirito for the first time.
Yep.
And he comes in like a badass.
Which is nothing unusual for his character.
No. And Asuna kind of swoons a little, but also is in severe shock. So he ends up giving her what she needs to get back to the village. She gets back to the village and kind of reevaluates, and has a very mini, tiny little villain arc.
Yeah. And like, not like going about killing people, mini villain arc, but she's like, all right, I'm gonna go to a dungeon and I'm gonna stay there, and if I die, fuck it, I die.
Yeah, she turns into a broody, moody teenager, which again, fitting.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she just says basically like, I'm just gonna balls to the wall, do what I need to do. And she does so. And then ends up running into Kirito in the dungeon again. And fainting, and then he drags her out and basically says, like, I want the map. that you have, because if you've been here for 4 days, then it's gonna, you've tracked some shit, and I want to see what that is.
Yeah.
So she gives him the map back effectively, but he doesn't know it's back. He thinks it's given because she's wearing her cloak and can't see. And then he tells her about this meeting where they're gonna meet up to try and fight the first level dungeon boss. There's like 100 levels. They have to get up to the top level to be able to defeat the boss. And they're on the first level, and it's been a month by this point. So they go to meet up. They have the meeting, and everyone gets they start accusing the beta testers of being dicks because they didn't help out the noobs on launch day and left them to level up on their own, even though they knew the secrets of the game beforehand. And Asuna then starts questioning everything with Mito because of the fact that that's what Mito did. She abandoned her when things got tough and knew what to do, knew other stuff. And so it adds another level of questioning for Asuna.
Well, it also doesn't help with the fact that Asuna didn't even know if Mito died or not, because they were both near death. Then all she saw was that Mito left the party, so didn't know if she died.
No.
Probably assumed that she just left the party and left her to die rather than died. But Asuna didn't know because she didn't play games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but then she saw Mito at the meeting and she's like, oh, so this bitch did just abandon me.
Yeah.
She didn't die. Yeah. She just abandoned me.
She just ditched. Yeah. And, yeah, and the reason why as well, it's not like if another person in your party dies, you die. She left the party because she didn't want to see Asuna's health deplete.
Yeah.
It was so selfish.
Oh, 100%.
And anyway, so then Asuna's questioning everything, and Kirito ends up sitting next to her and is like, hey, we got told to all join into parties. Do you want to join a party again? And Asuna is obviously feeling very conflicted about joining a party again, but she ends up doing so. And then they all go on this big mission to the dungeon to defeat, I was going to say the dungeon master. They're going to defeat the DM.
Oh no.
Now that would be
it's coming. I would love to run an SAO campaign.
That would be fun.
That would be sick.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be so fun.
But yeah, and then we get everything from here is pretty much bog standard with what you saw in the anime. Mm-hmm. The fight goes pretty much exactly the same way, just a hell of a lot better animation.
Yeah.
The only thing that really changed was with the scenes right before it, with Kirito and Asuna going to the shared house that they were in, and the bat scene, mm-hmm. and Asuna being very excited over the fact that there were actually baths in SAO.
Yes.
Which, I mean, honestly, same, because if it had been almost 2 months without being able to take a bath, that would suck.
Absolutely.
Even though it's a video game, but everything feels real, everything tastes real.
Yeah.
So therefore, bath would be nice.
Would be nice, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then really everything happens exactly how it did. Boss is defeated. Diabel dies. Everybody blames the beta testers. Everybody blames Kirito. And Kirito has this little speech of, actually, I'm better than all y'all, just so he can take all of the heat and get it off of everybody else.
Yeah.
And then, all of that happens. They go up to the second floor, but Asuna actually joins him on the second floor.
Yes.
And then right at the very end, we get an introduction to one character that I'm not going to spoil who it is.
No.
But I'm very excited to see how they're going to play into the next film.
Yeah, and I am stoked to watch the next film. And honestly, this film, really fucking good. If you haven't watched it yet, I 10 out of 10 recommend that you watch it. Especially if you didn't like the way that Sword Art Online was done previously, but you liked the first season. Because if you like the first season of that, you'll love this film. It'll re-spark your interest in the series, and you'll be stoked for February. So, yes.
So, what do you give it?
I'm sitting at a solid 9. It kept my attention all the way through. Animation was great. Soundtrack was great. Sound in general was great. Got me very interested in the series again. yeah, I'm really down to watch the rest of this. Fucking good.
Hell yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm also at a 9.
Nice.
So a rare agreement for once between us.
Yeah. Yeah, very
Although
rare.
I feel like we've been agreeing a lot more here lately.
We're just
stuff.
like buds or whatever.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're like besties.
Oh my god, what the hell?
Oh my god. It's been a while since like Becky has been out.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Becky and Bradette.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Becky.
Bradette.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
God, that hurt.
Oh no, I forgot about you.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's so nice to have Becky back, though.
Becky has been hiding. Becky has been in hibernation.
Never did get our Becky stream, unfortunately.
No. So next semester, I am taking this semester off of school.
Uh-huh.
I have seriously considered jumping on stream for a couple of times.
Castle.
Yeah, it may happen. We may have another castle stream. Although I think I may restart the castle.
Oh, no.
Because I think I'm going to cringe if I open that world.
That'll be fine.
It won't be.
And if anything, you should just stream that solely for this perspective of just to see if you actually do cringe.
I will. I know. I can picture it in my mind of what it looks like. I'm like,
oh, it was great. Everything was great.
Everything was awesome. Everything was cool, and you're part of a team.
Everything was awesome. Like, that was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better than what I could have done. And we've been playing Minecraft for pretty much the same amount of time.
Yeah. No. Not. I get made fun of at work because my nose sound Australian. They're half Canadian, half English, and they end up Australian. And so I end up being, no, Cleo.
You know, now that you say that,
what?
Yes, that I see it.
Oh, no. I know. And it's like, I don't mean to. I don't. Oh. Brad found a new soundboard and then found old sound bites that he took of the recordings for no reason. Oh.
This is the greatest thing I ever could have found.
Ugh.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. Anyways.
So you know what the big question I have?
Yes. What?
What are we going to cover next week? Because we have one more episode before we get into our end of the year episodes.
We can record literally anything you want.
We always record what I want.
I know.
I make the schedule.
Okay. What's the sleeper of the year?
Sleeper of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Let me pull up Crunchyroll really quick because I enjoy talking about sleeper anime of the years. Let's see here. Because I've talked about so many this year because there have been a lot of good ones. I really, really wish that we were into the whatever I'm trying to think of.
Did we have
into the winter already?
Yeah.
Did we get into the what?
Never mind. Don't worry about me. I'm good.
And the reason I say that is because everything like fall has been so good. Like I am very tempted to January and February make all fall anime, and I'm going to.
Why not?
Because bless you.
Thanks.
But yeah, you've got Chainsaw Man, Spy Family, Blue Lock. Actually, no, we won't be able to do Blue Lock until April, but I'm so excited for you to watch Blue Lock because it's a really fucking good sports anime. But also, have you seen everybody comparing Blue Lock and Japan's World Cup team?
No.
Yeah, like since Japan is on a warpath in the World Cup, everybody's like, Project Blue Lock is real.
Okay, I'm so down. Also, England
especially
played today.
Considering.
Let me just see what the score is. It was 3-0 when I last looked.
The U.S. got their asses kicked by the Netherlands. So Japan is all I have left.
Hey.
Hey, what?
I mean, Canada got their asses kicked, but you still have the UK. Thank you very much.
The UK means nothing to me.
I mean, just England, should I say, because Wales is... Okay. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0.
So the UK won?
Yeah. Well, England won.
Nice.
England
won.
England.
Nice. That's okay. I hope Japan takes it. I really hope they take it. They deserve it.
To set up France, quarterfinal, Senegal. Nice.
I really don't know what I want to do. Do we want to do Cyberpunk since we never got around to Cyberpunk? Did you even start Cyberpunk?
We could do Cyberpunk. I think I started it. Let's do Cyberpunk.
Okay, because that works for me, because I can't think of anything just sleeper off the top of my head as of right now.
We may or may not do Cyberpunk unless Brad comes up with something else, and then it may change.
You know what? It's to be determined. However, at this point, I really want to see your take on Cyberpunk, minus the fact that it's a little horny, but it's fine.
I mean, I don't mind a little horny. I suggested Keijo.
I mean, true. In fact, you suggested that to one of my best friends the first time that
I ever met
on stream.
him, ever had a conversation with him. I was like, you should watch this anime. It's fucking funny.
And it is. Like, that was so good.
This is the thing, is I was like, I'm not being a weirdo. It's genuinely a good anime, but like, my description of it makes me sound like a creep. Still watch it though. It's funny.
And yet I'll still recommend that to people if they want like a good, funny anime to watch. I'm like, Keijo.
I'm like, if you're a hardcore anime watcher and you haven't seen it yet, give it a watch. If you're a baby anime watcher, maybe not. It's pretty advanced. It's advanced anime viewing.
100%. It is advanced. Oh, I have another thought. If you want to like do like a odd segue,
okay,
in a way. So do we want to branch off the anime path just a tad?
Oh,
so are you familiar with Critical Role?
Yes.
So they have their own animated show that fits into like an anime line called The Legends of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Do we want to just do a little segue into D&D for a week?
Yes.
All right, let's do that then.
Okay.
It's 10 episodes.
I'm down.
Hell yeah. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do The Legends of Vox Machina next week for our last episode of the year.
Yeah.
Before we get into the end of the year stuff.
Fully. And I'm going to be home for Christmas for the next couple of weeks after that. So sound quality on my end may go down a tad. I will be able to record next week's here, but the next one after that may go down a tad. And we're going to try and backlog some episodes. So I'm going to be fully transparent that the next, like there may be a few, we'll forewarn you if it was a Christmas recorded episode. And that's why my sound quality went down. It shouldn't go down too bad because I do have a mic set up there, but I will be recording off of my laptop and my mic isn't as good as this mic. So
when are you leaving back for Alberta?
I leave on the 16th.
16th? Do we want to at least knock out the end of the year episodes like during that week if you'll have time?
Yeah, I should be able to, considering that I end school this week. So I'll have like the weekend and then like Monday, I think it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday outside of work that I'll be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, we can try to at least knock those out then. That way.
But then I don't have school next semester, so I can actually like have free time to do shit.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Free time is nice.
Free time is nice. So I can revamp my Etsy shop that's sat on the back burner for a long time. And
revamp the Etsy shop. You can actually game.
I can game. I can watch anime for fun. I mean, not that this isn't fun, but like, you know what I mean?
I am going to shove so much fall stuff down your throat.
Honestly, I'm glad I stopped that because I know that you clip these now.
I literally had a mark clip ready. I was like, please give me something to clip. Oh my God.
I still think that advanced anime watching should be one.
It really should.
The advanced anime viewing experience.
Oh my god, it's great. Yeah. It's so good.
Just like so much from the initial conversation of my neighbors this morning.
Oh, that just needs to be clipped and then sent to them on a flash drive.
Oh my god, no.
Just a flash drive.
I don't think I've met these neighbors is the thing. I think these are new people.
Then it's totally fine.
Like, hello, new people. We can hear you.
Oh, in the background, you say.
Whilst I'm recording? What is it?
That would be...
Oh, my gain just switched. Oops. By mistake. I now have very sensitive audio. Oops.
Oh, who would have thunk?
Anyway, we need to wrap this up so you can go on vocal rest again.
Yeah, vocal rest. I need to.
Yeah.
Website, www.bnbanime.com, where you can see quite literally everything about us, about the podcast, about everything. Also, contact info in case you want to let us know what you think about the show, or, if you want to sponsor us, we'll greatly accept a sponsorship.
That too. Brad Cutter Gaming for that one. Find him on Twitch and Instagram. Me, Blue Lavender STM on Instagram, Blue Lavender pretty much everywhere else. That's it. YouTube.
We have a YouTube. It will be probably as soon as we go on break is whenever I'm finally going to have time to catch up on everything, because I'm still working through I hate remaking everything from scratch, because now I feel like I need to change things and make it better, even though I was perfectly fine with what I made before.
Yeah.
But it's almost back together, so by the time the end of the year stuff comes out, everything will be good to go.
Yes.
So yeah, expect a video dump very, very soon.
Yes. And that's it.
Yep. So thank you all so much for listening, and we'll catch y'all next time. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.